I've worked with some of the highest performers in the world, from world-class professional athletes to multi-seven-figure business owners, and there's one practice that most of them follow in common that prevent them from burning out while consistently performing at a high level. This is a practice that most likely you've heard of before, but you probably didn't understand just how helpful it can be for achieving your goals. So in this video, I'm going to break down what that practice is and how you can begin following it so that you can recover deeply from burnout and prevent it from ever happening again. To begin deeply recovering so that you can prevent burnout in the future, we must first demystify the most commonly misunderstood idea about recovery, which is that recovery is more than just physical, meaning you can't just sleep and prevent and cure burnout. That is because sleep is mostly physical rest. And we know this because I'm sure you've experienced sleepless nights in your life just like I have. On many occasions, you can get a room completely dark, you can cool it down, you can even do some stretches and lay in your bed for hours before you're intending to fall asleep, hoping to lull yourself into a sleep state that you can remain in, ultimately realize that there's nothing that's going to enable you to actually sleep because your mind is still going. And you really only begin to sleep whenever your mind has exhausted itself. And so that's whenever you wake up the next day feeling as though yesterday is all just part of the same day that you're experiencing today because you still feel tired, mostly mentally, and you still feel burnt out. So, what is the best way to actually heal burnout and prevent it from happening in the future? The best practice for mental recovery is the practice of meditation. And so you may be wondering, why is the practice of meditation so effective for enabling this mental recovery? And that's because it enables you to experience a refreshed perspective. Now, you can imagine this by remembering a time whenever you were helping a friend and they may have been going through a challenging time in their life and they may have been struggling to find a solution to that challenge. But to you, as a detached individual, you're objectively observing what your friend is presenting to you, and the solution is very clear in your mind. But to the individual who you are sharing that solution with, they're so caught up that they can't see what it is that you're saying. They're so emotionally attached to a very particular way of viewing themselves and the world around them, which is why they're caught up in this situation, which is why they're burning out. So, meditation allows you to detach from your own perspective, much like a bird's eye view. And you can recognize how beneficial this would be by recognizing this pattern that influences the decisions that we make and ultimately the outcomes in our lives that we experience. So, your perspective is what influences the perceived opportunities that you see available to you. Those available opportunities that you are seeing influence the actions that you are taking, and then ultimately the results that you experience. And then the cycle repeats because the results that you experience perhaps could reinforce this perspective that you have. And I want to give you like a bit of a actual example here. If you could imagine growing up and not being able to turn your body, let's say you are forced to look north your entire life. All of the world that you are perceiving is what you are perceiving in the northern direction, not realizing that there's an entire different world that exists east, west, and south, right? But most people get locked into a very specific perspective and they don't realize that they are trapped in that perspective. They are trapped in the perspective of looking north. But the practice of meditation is what enables you to actually turn your body so that you can perceive of new information. And so when you perceive new information, you're going to have a new perspective. And with this new perspective, you're going to have new perceived opportunities that, when pursued and taken action upon, will lead to new results, ultimately reinforcing a new perspective. This is what enables people to actually heal their burnout. It's detaching and experiencing something new. Now I'm going to break down exactly how you can begin practicing this exercise of meditation so that you can deeply recover and cure the burnout that you may be experiencing now. And this is how you prevent it from happening in the future. You're about to learn a meaningful skill. Before I break that practice down, I want to share some of my background so that you can really get the sense that I understand this practice and that I'm going to be sharing helpful information with you. I've been following this practice very intensely for about 10 years. I have multiple teacher training certifications, and I also am a co-creator of a teacher training program. I also have ordained as a Buddhist monk previously. And the main benefit of that is that I lived in a very peaceful and relaxing environment where I could practice meditation for over 4 hours a day, day after day. And so I would say I very deeply understand this practice. And so I want to share the great benefits of this practice with you because once I learned it, it absolutely changed my life. And it's really the core of everything that I've wanted to teach other people and share with other people once I learned it for myself. So, the first step of learning meditation and practicing it, if we want to break this down in the simplest possible format, is to place your attention on your breath. And you can most easily do this by taking a few deep inhales and exhales, just noticing the sensations of your chest expanding and contracting. Okay, we're not expecting anything magical to be happening here. Honestly, just notice how it feels, how your body gets tight whenever you are constricting your abdomen just through the exhale. Notice how you are feeling and notice the sensations in your body, the physical sensations, okay? Step number 2 is to notice when your mind is wandering away from your breath. So, when you're following this practice, you may have begun by taking a few deep breaths and you're noticing how it feels to be breathing and your mind is there. You can return to a very normal breathing pattern. You don't need to continue breathing deeply, but inevitably your mind will begin wandering. You'll begin thinking about all the things that you need to do, all the things that are happening in the future and what may have happened in the past and everything in between. And this is an example of your mind wandering away from your breath. Just notice when that is happening. And then step number 3 is to return your attention back to your breath. And you can, again, very easily do this by taking a few deep inhales and a few deep exhales, noticing how it feels with each inhale and exhale. This is how you return your mind back to your breath. This is how you return your attention back to the present moment. You can think of it, I drew this is kind of a crude drawing, if you will, but this is an example of an individual with an outstretched arm. All right, so this is step 1. Step 2, noticing when your mind is wandering, is like performing a curl and then returning your attention back to your breath is when you outstretch it again. So when you constantly do this, you are like a muscle training your mind to pay attention to the present moment, which is where all of the new perspectives, all of the opportunities to resolve the challenges that you are facing are located. They're not located in the future. They're not located in the past. But whenever we are burned out, we are locked into a very specific perspective, looking out into the future or looking out into the past, and it prevents us from seeing the present moment clearly. But this is a practice of you training your mind to detach from the future and the past, detaching from the perspective that you've been locked into. 99% of people in the West are not taught this, right? And in my experience, I did not know a single individual who really understood this. All growing up, I was lucky to encounter the people who I did. I live in the deep South, but the individuals who taught me this practice, they were doctors, psychologists, some of the most intelligent people really to this day that I've ever met. And I was fortunate enough to learn this practice from them, but most people do not get that opportunity. But a question that I have is, if we all had the ability to detach from the perspectives that we may be locked into, perhaps unknowingly so, if we had the ability to finally perceive of things in a way that we were not perceiving of previously, if we had the ability to notice when we're following habitual patterns and to use that opportunity of noticing to make a new decision so that we're not continuing down the same path that we've always been going down, which is probably why we're stuck feeling the way that we feel, how differently would the world be? How differently would the world be if everyone was taught this practice? That's a very meaningful question, and it's one that I'm currently pursuing, teaching as many people as I can this practice so that they can benefit it from it in the same way that I have in my life.